You believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information.
That's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like. Could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff.
A matter of human hunting. And when a mind control slave such as myself was stripped of clothes and turned loose in the woods, I was then hunted by George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're pedophiles?
Yes.
And that they're still in this business?
Yes.
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, de los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos! Fuera la carne humana.
For decades, Hollywood silenced Mel Gibson. They buried his career, destroyed his reputation, and made sure the world saw him as a villain. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Leaked footage from the 90s just proved he was right all along. While everyone was busy canceling him, Mel was already speaking out about the darkness lurking in the entertainment industry, specifically about Epstein and what was really happening behind closed doors. The irony is almost poetic. The man they painted as the problem was actually trying to expose the real monsters. His name is nowhere to be found on those Epstein lists, and now the truth is crystal clear. His downfall wasn't about the controversies they fed us. It was punishment for refusing to bow down to their twisted demands and participate in their sick rituals. He tried to warn us over and over again. The film Sound of Freedom wasn't just entertainment, it was a message. And now that message is hitting different, because what we're seeing in reality makes that movie look tame. Right now, Epstein's name is everywhere. The Department of Justice just dropped a bomb. Over 3 million files filled with thousands of videos and photographs showing powerful elites doing unspeakable things. But here's what's terrifying. This isn't even the full story. They're holding back evidence so explosive it could literally tear this country apart. What's in these files? Videos of young girls running through the woods in their underwear, being chased by Epstein and other powerful men. Images so disturbing I literally cannot put them into words here. We don't know exactly what happened to these girls, but let's be real, we all know it was nothing short of evil. One of Epstein's emails really says it all. He literally wrote, "They are like shrimp. You throw away the top, keep the body." Let that sink in. These documents are confirming our worst nightmares, and yet, besides Epstein himself, 0 arrests have been made. People are even questioning if he's really dead, while his partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, is living it up in some cushy prison with a pet. You can't make this stuff up. Now let's talk about something truly chilling. 330 gallons of sulfuric acid. That's what Epstein bought back in 2018. You know what that much acid can do? It can dissolve a human body completely, bones and all. No evidence, nothing left. And guess when he bought it? The exact same day the FBI opened their investigation into him. Coincidence? I don't think so. Throughout all of this, one name keeps resurfacing: Mel Gibson. I know some of you are shocked because Hollywood spent years convincing you he was the bad guy, but the truth is completely backwards. Think back to 2004. The Passion of the Christ became a massive hit, but Mel had to fund it entirely himself. Every single studio in Hollywood refused to touch it. They didn't want a movie about God. And when it succeeded anyway, they attacked him, called him anti-Semitic, said he was spreading hate, all for making a film about Jesus. Now there's this old video going viral. It's Mel talking about what he witnessed when he entered Hollywood as a young 25-year-old actor. He describes feeling completely out of place because everyone around him seemed totally comfortable with things that made his skin crawl. He was the outsider in a town full of secrets. This was 1998. Mel Gibson was literally describing the Epstein files before anyone even knew who Epstein was. And what did mainstream media do? They called him crazy, paranoid, a conspiracy theorist. They canceled him before cancel culture even had a name. He couldn't get work anywhere. His comeback only happened when he self-financed a movie about Christ, using his own money because Hollywood had completely shut him out. This industry has become our generation's Sodom and Gomorrah.
You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And and I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real.
But wait, the story gets even deeper. Once Hollywood successfully pushed Mel out, they needed replacements, people they could manipulate and control. Enter Jim Caviezel, the actor who portrayed Jesus in Mel's controversial film. Whatever Hollywood put Jim through after bringing him into their circle, it opened his eyes to the nightmare happening behind the scenes. That's when Mel and Jim joined forces to create Sound of Freedom, a film that would expose everything. Mel backed it financially, while Jim directed and starred in it. The numbers tell their own story. A modest $14.5 million budget transformed into over $250 million at the box office. Why? Because it ripped the curtain off the child trafficking epidemic. The plot follows Roberto Aguilar, a struggling father in Honduras who falls for a scam. A woman named Giselle, pretending to be a talent scout and former beauty queen, convinces him to let his children, Miguel and Rocio, do a modeling photo shoot. It's a trap. Both kids get snatched and thrown into the trafficking network. Jim's character takes down the distributors and manages to rescue Miguel, but when he discovers that Rocio is still trapped somewhere in Colombia, he makes a choice. He walks away from his government job, ignoring all the red tape and bureaucratic nonsense, and commits to finding her. With help from unexpected allies, including Vampiro, a former cartel accountant, and various Colombian contacts, they orchestrate an undercover operation in Cartagena. They pose as buyers to infiltrate and expose the entire sick operation. When this movie first dropped, audiences thought it was just another thriller. But now, after seeing the Epstein files, the parallels are impossible to ignore. The fake talent scouts, the elaborate parties, the systematic abuse, it's all there. The movie wasn't fiction, it was a warning. Social media exploded with reactions. One user wrote, "Reading through the Epstein files, and it's clear these billionaires were offering up their own children to Epstein and his circle. Absolutely depraved." Another chimed in, "Mel's been screaming about this conspiracy for years. He even made a whole movie about it." So here's my question for you. What's your take on all this? Mel Gibson was sounding the alarm on Epstein decades before the rest of us even knew the name. Does this vindicate him? Will this bring his career back from the dead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you click over to watch our next deep dive video.